Greetings and welcome to the wrong one. Greetings and welcome to Nathan Lyle Official. For those who have never seen my face in a video before, my name is Nathan Lyle, and this is my personal channel where I upload vlogs, reviews, and whatever else happens to catch my fancy. And this particular video is part of a series called Rants and Rambles, where I just kind of, sit in front of this camera for 20-30 minutes and just say everything that's on my mind. It's more cathartic, is that the right word? But it's definitely somewhat therapeutic just to get shit off my chest. Today I want to talk about stories. I'm just wondering if there's any. First of all, I wrote a story about my life. Everything's Impossible. If you haven't already bought my autobiography, links in the description. Also, Toxic Volume 1, it is in the process of being put out. Hopefully, I can officially, publicly announce the sale by the end of the month. There's just, one or two details to get sorted out. So, who knows? Maybe as soon as the next video, whenever that happens to go up, I could be telling you, hey, it's on sale, go buy it. Can't guarantee it, but could happen as early as next week. Could happen as late as Valentine's Day. I don't know anything yet. That's light for you. But anyways, I want to talk about stories. And I want to see if you guys would ever want me to just do Storytime videos. Kind of like how Susie just goes and stands in front of the camera telling stories about his life. Except my life's boring, so instead I tell you stories that I made up. Because there's a lot of stories that I know 100% I'll never make any money off of this. It's just fun to tell the story. Because, for instance, I have one story that I'm still living right now, kind of. It's entirely inspired by the mere fact that I hated my life. And I created an alternate universe where I was basically born famous. And it started before I even knew I wanted to be a writer. It's just one of those things that I've always had a wild imagination. And growing up, everything I watched, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Power Rangers, Sabrina, Pokemon, everything, literally everything I watched, I would create a character, put myself in the story. And some of those are still my favorite stories. And some of them have turned into stories of their own. That's actually how Toxic got started. We'll get more into that later. So I can tell you some of those stories. But anyways, I grew up and I just kept getting more and more enthralled with celebrity lifestyle, and some of those celebrity crushes that I had, wishing I could actually date them, and ended up creating a fantasy life where I was famous. But then the longer it went on, there were so many things that realistically, one person can't do all this, so I had to create another person and then another. And so now there's 4 main characters in this just continually ongoing TV show. There's RJ, born in 1980, mostly famous for being huge in the 90s. I mean, people who don't follow him, they know that, people who don't follow celebrity culture, they just kind of know him as, hey, one of those child stars that went off the map, that grew up and went crazy. But people who do follow Hollywood know him as huge superstar actor who you literally, if you turned on your TV in the 90s, you saw him in a bunch of shit. And then, yeah, he got on the drink, kind of threw away his career briefly, but made a big comeback. And then there's Nathan and Lionel, both born in 1990. Lionel, if you don't follow Hollywood culture, he's kind of that guy oh, hey, you're that guy from that thing. Hey, aren't you what's-his-name's best friend? Aren't you married to what's-her-face? But people who do know him know he was a bit heartthrob as a teenager. For most of his teenage life, he was pretty much just that guy that, there's a teenage girl on this TV show. He'll guest star as her love interest. For as little as one episode, as much as one season. He just kept bouncing around from TV show to TV show throughout his teen years, never really starring in his own. And then, there's Nathan, who's mostly known for music. There was a period of, 362 consecutive weeks, which I believe, if I did my math correctly, that's 7 straight years. where he had at least one song on the top 40 at all times, because he put out solo albums at 14, 17, and 21. He put out an album with his R&B trio at 15 and 18. There were two movies he was in at 15 and 19, where he also sang songs on the soundtrack, and he had a rock group that he was part of called Amanda's Little Brother, which that was on for 5 seasons. So at 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, there was music that he was doing with them. And then he hit 22 and kind of just disappeared. So he's another one that if you don't follow celebrity culture, people know him as, that another huge superstar teenager that grew up, got on the drugs, disappeared. Not true at all. I mean, most of it is true, except for a couple little facts here and there. But, yeah. And then there's Mikey, who I really haven't put anywhere near enough effort into him, just because I invented him when I was like 19, because I was realizing, my teenage years are over, I'm not ready to be a grown-up, so I invented a new kid, but I got tired of him pretty quickly, and I ended up, college started, got jobs and stuff, and real world kept pulling me away, so I couldn't invest anywhere near as much time as I used to into these fantasy worlds. But yeah, stories have just always been part of my life. And, because what I got right now, I've got my autobiography, still on sale. I've got Toxic, hopefully that'll come out this month. Can't guarantee it. Could be as early as this week, could be as late as next month. But let's hope. Things are in the process, so let's hope that it's gonna happen soon. My nose is stuffed up. So, but yeah, what else? Oh yeah, I've decided what I'm going to write next. Actually, one of the stories I've written the next story I've written is a coming-of-age medical drama. I've sent it to a friend who's going to read it, give me a really honest review. Hopefully it's not too brutal, because I put some real effort into making this good. It's a coming-of-age medical drama. It's only 9 chapters, like 13,000 words at the moment. We'll see what suggestions he gives with the editing. He's giving me some praise. He says it's very well written, easy to read. He's enjoying it so far. But we'll see what notes he gives when he hands it back, because I know he's gonna be as cruel as possible, and some of it's gonna hurt, but he'll be right about anything he says. Most of it, probably, because when he criticized the autobiography, I did not listen to the majority of things he said initially, but as I kept going through, more and more of the things he said kept just sticking out to me, and so ended up taking a lot of his advice. Reluctantly, but now that I know what I'm getting into, I'm prepared for it. Mentally and emotionally preparing for it. But in the meantime, I've actually been working on some Star Wars and Star Trek stories. Star Wars one is actually, I came up with it when I was 18, 19, after watching a marathon through all the 6 movies that had existed so far. And now, it was because I was disappointed in The Force Awakens. Not The Force Awakens, the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I think I knew from the very beginning, just from the mere fact that they called it Rise of Skywalker, that this wasn't going to turn out the way you think, that it's not going to be a very well-written thing. And it ended up just being, honestly, 8 and 9 almost just felt like 2 people wrote different versions of what they would want to put for number 8. I think Hollywood, you need to get in the habit of, if you're going to write a trilogy, write the whole damn trilogy. Write all 3 movies first, before you put out the first one. Because honestly, other than the fact that it's the same characters, all three of these movies have a tragically different feel. Like with Finn, I loved Finn when he first showed up. The Force Awakens, when I saw it, it instantly became my favorite movie because you had a black man who was kidnapped into servitude and escaped and joined the rebel forces, though not necessarily by choice, but still, like he picked up a lightsaber and fought against a Sith Lord. I thought Finn was one of the best Star Wars characters ever invented, and they're so there's just so much wasted potential there. And I hate the fact that, spoiler alert, that Rey just had to be a Palpatine. I hate the fact that you have this entire universe that's just built around, two houses. It's like, everyone that has, I mean, Star Wars seems to keep contradicting itself in that it's like, the Force exists around us, and anyone is capable of manipulating it. And like anyone's capable of being great, but all the greatest all come from like this one bloodline. And so, it's just, I've never been a huge Star Wars fan. There's a lot about it that confuses me and frustrates me. But overall, like, it's one of those things that, like, there are good things about it, there are bad things about it. But yeah. One thing that I did with my Star Wars movies is that went out of my way to make sure there was no mention of anyone named Skywalker ever. I mean, mine happens in the time before time. There's no Skywalker, there's no Yoda, there's no Palpatine, none of that bullshit. Because here's my problem with Star Wars. It's an entire fucking universe to work with. Why is it so damn small, though? You've got an entire universe to work with, and you keep it right here. And it's like, there's a whole world over there that we can't even reach. Like, we know it's there in theory, but we never go all the way over there. So, yeah. And also just working on a new Star Trek show. Always been a huge Star Trek fan. Have not seen Picard. Is it out yet? I know January. I don't know when in January. But yeah. Writing the first 6 episodes of season 1 and the first episode of season 3, because like there's a specific direction I want this to go in, so I want to have at least the formula laid out clearly so that if I die before it ever gets made and then someone looks at my laptop and is like, this actually looks like some good shit, then at least they'll have the basic timeline down and just have to fill in the holes that make this all shit work, kind of thing. And then when those get done, I'm actually gonna start while I'm still, if I finish that before I finish waiting for my friend to get back to me with that review, then the next book I'm gonna work on, which no idea how long it's gonna take. It's one of the only books that fits in multiple categories that I like the story enough that I want to work on, yet it's also developed enough that I know I could fill an entire book. That's also exciting enough that I think it could sell. It's a fantasy adventure with dragons and orcs and goblins and shit. So yeah, look forward to some of that. And I swear my nose wasn't stuffed up until I turned on the camera and pressed play. And now I just can't breathe for shit. But anyways, that's my life. Oh, I saw, if you haven't seen it yet, I feel like you should check out Opposite Sex with Milo Ventimiglia, Chris Evans, Allison Mack, and a few others you might recognize. His nose is killing me, man. But yeah, it's a hilarious show. The one thing they did wrong was that the show, it felt like they didn't know what they wanted to do with it, because like it's one of those stay in your lane, bro, kind of things, because they're trying to take it way too seriously in a situation that's way too silly, and it comes off as awkward and sometimes cringy. But I think if they had made it just purely comedy, it would have lasted. It could have lasted like 7 seasons, man. Because it's a show. The very premise of it is there are three boys who are the first to enroll in a previously all girls school, and there are so many themes of masculinity and sexuality and stuff going on. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, from the very beginning, it's like this is the plot to so many anime that I've seen. There's literally an entire genre built on this premise. How is this not successful? And I'm like, right idea, poorly executed. They just had the wrong tone. This needs to be a half-hour sitcom with a laugh track. Yeah. But, yeah, it's worth checking out. I saw it because someone's uploaded it all on YouTube. So, yeah, I was like, let's look at this. And I looked at it, and I enjoyed it. Was it very badly done? Yes. But I still loved it. It's a half-decent story, fairly interesting. Great acting, and very funny. It's just, like I said, it was trying its best to be a drama in a story that really wasn't that well crafted for the dramatic genre. But anyways, yeah, that's everything I have for you this week. So until the next time you see my face in a video, my name is Nathan Lyle. Feel free to buy my book, buy some merchandise, keep your eye out, because book 1 of the series Toxic is coming out hopefully this month. So next video hopefully will be to announce that. So until then, I hope you have a great day, month, week, even the year.